Hi guys, welcome to Jam's Adventures. Today we're going to talk about a subject that to some is myth, to some it's a religion, and to some it's just far out craziness. That myth is the legend of Sasquatch, or Bigfoot. I know, but listen to me. We are getting ready to go on our biggest expedition yet. And we're not going to the Pacific Northwest for this. We are staying here in central United States, Missouri, Arkansas, possibly Oklahoma. We're going to do a multi-week excursion into the heart of the Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, the Ozarks, in search of Bigfoot, Sasquatch. I want you guys to know that we've talked to some leading researchers, some who have published books and YouTube channels, and I have some great locations that we're going to go and try to experience and see what we can see. We've got some theories that we're going to try while we're out there. We've got some things that we're going to do, and we're using basic equipment. This is not one of those expeditions where we're going out with all this equipment, all these fancy cameras, FLIR equipment, night vision goggles. We have basic equipment. We'll be using our basic Samsung Galaxy phones. We have several of those that we'll be filming with. We'll be using various lights and just a pair of binoculars. So this is very low key. The intent is that we're going out to experience Bigfoot, Sasquatch in their territory. We are going out to test some theories and just to observe. So this is not to do anything to interact, well, possibly interactions, but mostly observations. So, and we also have some leading witnesses that are going to give us some of their accounts. So you'll get to hear from eyewitness reports, Arkansas and Missouri, of Bigfoot, Sasquatch experiences. And hopefully, if I can get some of these leading researchers to go on camera, maybe they would give us some expert opinions too. But I'm a little nervous. I talked to one BFRO researcher, and he gave us some great locations. He did warn me that if we take other people, it's just going to be me and Sarah on this trip, so just two of us. And he told me that expect to get the heebie-jeebies. It's going to be scary, but that the ones that we're going to, these are in the Missouri Ozarks and the Mark Twain National Forest area that we're going to near the Current River. We're expecting to be nervous. We're not expecting aggression. These are not the aggressive Sasquatches that you've heard about. The Missouri Sasquatches are less aggressive than some of the others. Arkansas, though, we might run into some more aggressives. They're smaller than the Missouri Bigfoots, and they're more aggressive. But with that said, I expect most of if we have any encounters, I think we're going to have more encounters in Missouri as far as close-in encounters. I think we might, in Arkansas, some of the areas we're going to, if we have any encounters, it's going to be at distance. But with that said, you just never know. When you're in their territory, you never know what to expect. So I'm excited, I'm scared, I'm nervous, but we're going to put this on our YouTube channel. We're going to put this on TikTok, Instagram. Also, we have Facebook. But we're going to make this, and this is going to be a major documentary that we're going to post on Amazon Prime. So I'm excited to share this with you guys so that you guys can see. So whatever we find, whatever we don't find, we're going to document it, and we're going to let you guys know. So we're excited about this. I just can't wait. You just can't. I'm bubbling up inside with anticipation, but I'm also nervous, very nervous. But let's talk to some of the other family members here and just see what their expectations are. Hey guys, it's Jam. I'm going to do a preface to this video because in the video we talk about an expedition. We were going to go on the expedition, and the next day we had a car accident totaling our Jam-mobile, our 2017 Subaru Outback, so we had to upgrade to a 2022, but in the process we did not get to finish that trip. So we are going to finish that trip, but this video is great because it's an interaction between my family. Believe it or not, is what we call it, because we're discussing the merits of those who believe and those who not believe. So I thought you guys would love this video, so I wanted to share it with you anyway. We are going to go on that expedition. Everything I said is true. We did get some locations to go do some observations of Sasquatch near the Current River and the Mark Twain National Forest, and also visit some spots down in Arkansas. So we are going to do that. We're just going to have to postpone that. But with that said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for joining Jump Speakers. So Josh, as we get ready for this expedition, the Bigfoot Sasquatch expedition, I wanted to get your thoughts on this. What do you think about Sarah and I as we get ready to go into the heart of Missouri, Arkansas, Bigfoot country, possibly Oklahoma? Possibly we're going to go down to Folk, Arkansas. So the Boggy Creek Fawk Monster, Boggy Creek movies were filmed in the Fawk area of Arkansas. We're going to head down there in southern Arkansas, not too far from the Texarkana border, but we're going to check that out. But with that said, Josh, I would like you to kind of give us, take a minute or so and give us your take on the Bigfoot Sasquatch, and what do you think we're going to find while we're down there?
I think you'll find some animals, and that's about it.
What kind of, what do you mean when you say animals? Like Bigfoot, Sasquatch?
No, I think you'll just find deer.
So we're not going to find Bigfoot, Sasquatch?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Why do you believe that we're not going to run into Bigfoot, Sasquatch when we're going to be in their living rooms?
I don't believe he's real.
How come?
I don't.
Just because you haven't seen one, you believe is that why? The only reason is because you just don't believe just because.
I have not seen any real footage or videos or.
Okay. If we come back with proof, you're going to believe?
If you find proof of a big monkey and you call that Sasquatch, I won't believe.
Well, what's going to happen is we're going to go down there and we're going to experience some things with Bigfoot, Sasquatch. And if we find
you gotta find a very big monkey.
Well, if we find these locations, I'm going to take you down there so that you can have the experience, and then we'll look at this and ask you these same questions again after I take you down, and we'll see what you think. What do you think about that?
I don't think I would want to go.
Okay.
Arkansas.
Well, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri. Anyway, so you're going to be of the opinion Sasquatch is just a fable tale?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks. Appreciate it. So this is Stephanie and Sarah. Sarah is actually going to be on the trip with me. Sarah, what are you thinking? Give me some of your expectations of what you're expecting out of the trip. What do you think we're going to see and experience? Are you nervous? Are you scared? Are you just not concerned? What is your fears and your expectations of this trip that we're going to go in observations of Bigfoot, Sasquatch?
I think I agree with Josh. We'll see some deer, maybe a bear. Not really nervous.
So we're going to see deer, we're going to see bear. There's actually elk in this part, so we're probably going to see some elk. These are all actually subsistence for the Bigfoot. So the fact that there are bear and wolves, coyote, and all these other predators. There's also bobcats and mountain lions. So I'm a little concerned about the bobcats and mountain lions. And so, like I said, snakes. We're going to run into copperheads and cottonmouths, which are not fun animals. So I'm not looking forward to, running into these types of predators out there. But the top of the food chain is the biggest predator of all that I'm more concerned about, which is the Bigfoot Sasquatch, because we are, we're on their menu. So, Sarah, we're going to see some predators. We're going to hear some predators. We're going to hear some noise. We're going to have some experiences. We're going to do some experiments in the Sasquatch Bigfoot territory. So, what do you think is going to come of these experiments and of our observations? What are you expecting to see with the Sasquatch?
I don't think we're going to see it.
How come?
Because it's a mythical creature.
What's wrong with Sasquatch?
It's fake.
What, Bigfoot's not real?
It's fake.
How come?
Because, like Josh said, there is no evidence.
Really? That's what we're going to observe. What if we find evidence? Then are you going to believe?
I think it'll be a big bear.
What if we have some encounters? How are you going to feel?
I think it'll be a setup.
A setup? Who's going to set it up? We're going to be in the middle of the Ozarks, which is wilderness. We're going to be in the wilderness areas. What are you thinking? What's going to happen if you're scared? Are you going to be scared?
I will not be scared.
You're not going to be scared at all?
I'm not gonna be scared.
Okay, because this is going to be documented.
All right.
So you're not going to be scared. You're not going to have any problem in the deep, dark wildernesses.
No.
Grown men have, this creature makes grown men cry and shake and fall to the ground and cannot move from fear. And you're going to walk into Sasquatch territory with this attitude?
Mm-hmm.
No fear at all.
No fear.
No fear. Look in those
fear.
eyes. There's no fear of Sasquatch
No
in his
fear.
eyes. You're sure?
I'm sure.
All right. I'm going to encourage you to have a little skepticism that maybe, I mean, it's okay to have skepticism, but you also need to have a little knowledge that this is going to be scary. But it's okay. We'll survive.
Okay.
Are you excited?
Sure.
All right. So we're heading out early, dark 30 tomorrow. And our first stop is going to be a location in Missouri near Springfield. So I'm excited to get on the road in the morning and see what we can see, find what we can find. Any last words?
Nope.
Well, any last words? Because if we find the Sasquatch, these could literally be your last words.
I'm sure.
All right. So I have the biggest skeptic in the world going with me, and her name is Sarah. So we'll see how this turns out. All right, guys. All right, Stephanie. As Sarah and I prepare for this expedition, and we're going to go into the deepest, darkest part of Bigfoot country, which some would say that was the Pacific Northwest, but from encounters, Missouri and Arkansas is right up there. So we're going into the heart of darkness here in the Ozarks, around the Buffalo River down south in Arkansas, and the Current River in Missouri, and also the mountains along the Arkansas-Oklahoma border to see what we can experience. These are all high trafficked Bigfoot areas. We're going down to Falk, which is also where they made the big movie back in the 70s and 80s. The Boggy Creek area, the Boggy Creek monster, the Falk monster. So, you know, Missouri, it's called Momo. But Bigfoot, Sasquatch, I prefer the term Sasquatch because it's what the Native Americans use. They also use other terms. But Stephanie, as we get prepared to go, what are your expectations of what we're going to find? What are your thoughts on this creature, Bigfoot? And what do you think is going to happen? And how do you think Sarah's going to react? What are you thinking we're going to find? And what are your thoughts before we prepare to leave tomorrow?
You will find other wild animals. The only thing that you're going to find is bobcats, deer, bears, snakes, things like that, because Sasquatch does not exist. People who believe that Sasquatch exists fall into several categories, like one, outright liars. Another category is people who are crazy. Another category is people who are deluded, who think that they've seen something, but yeah, they saw something like another wild animal. And I think everything that people document as proof of Sasquatch can be explained by other wild animals. And that's what you're going to find. And Sarah's not going to be scared at all. She's brave. She knows it doesn't exist.
It's funny that I'm very nervous about this expedition. So it's interesting to me that you guys have such, you know, that you're really prideful and arrogant to think that we're not going to experience these things. But you know, I've talked to the researchers, and they've told me that we're going to basically poop in our pants, literally and figuratively. So, but you guys are thinking that this is not the case. Let's say that you're right. We come back, we don't find anything. That's fine. What if we do, though? What? Let's say that we do. What if we come back? What if Sarah has had a traumatic experience that's going to affect the rest of her life and change her perceptions? She's going to come back. She's going to believe in Bigfoot. We probably will see a whole family of them, or at least have some experiences with them, and she's going to be a believer. What if she comes back and she tells you that she's no longer a non-believer?
Fathom that.
Well, what if it does happen, though? What if she comes back and we have some evidence from our observations, and because you're next on the list. Once Sarah and I find these areas, and if we have some interactions, you're next on the list. So You're not out of the woods. So we're going to go experience this too. This is part of the theory, and this is part of the experiment, though, because we're going with someone who is a staunch believer, and we're taking also someone who just has no concept that this ever could be a reality. And then, she has support from her family that believes. So this is kind of like the non-believer and the believer going, and this is going to be the ultimate proof, because we've got both sides of the fence here, and so there's no way to fake this, is what I'm saying. That's why I'm taking someone who there's purpose in the madness. I'm not taking someone who believes in Sasquatch with me. I'm purposely taking her, and then later on we're going to document Stephanie in these same areas and just see what happens when what happens when non-believers have experiences. What happens when you take them into the heart of darkness? Does it change? Do they change? Do their perceptions change? Next time we have this conversation, will we be having a different conversation? But what if this changes, Sarah? And what if it changes you? What if we find something, proof? What are you gonna? What would you do? What would you feel? How's it gonna change your life if we find out that these creatures are not just real, but they're family units, and they're very human-like, and they probably live in family groups and are somehow connected to us as watchers of humankind? What do you think, Sarah?
I think baloney.
Stephanie?
I agree with her.
You guys are laughing, and that's fine, because this is a part of the process. I don't mind your doubt, because that's the purpose of this trip. The purpose of this trip is to bring a conclusion to this of what happens when we take non-believers into Sasquatch territory. Does it change their perceptions? Yes, I believe it will. And I think that Sarah, honestly, I think we're going to pee in our pants. I think we're going to be scared. I think we're going to meet some credible witnesses and talk to them, Stephanie. And I'm so excited to just see what's going to happen at the end of all this. Okay? So, while sitting here talking to some of my family members, it's quite apparent that I am the lone wolf in the expectation that we're going to experience Bigfoot. And also the fact that my family is annoyed at me because I talk awful lot about Bigfoot, and they're non-believers. So I am willing to put it all on the line right here and now with this family. I'm going to put it online here for the whole world to see and witness, and put it on video, put it on my YouTube channel, and I'm going to make a deal with these guys. If Sarah and I go on this experience, on this expedition for the next week or so, and we come back and we're not somehow changed by this experience, and we have zero credible experiences, and it's just a waste of our time, and we're just like, oh yeah, we didn't find nothing, there's nothing there, and we come back and we have not changed some perceptions, not necessarily that we're going to see them, because that's not the point. The point of this is to observe them, not to see them, and we can observe them and hear them and witness them and feel them without actually seeing them. But if we come back, and here's the thing, not my perceptions, but Sarah's. If Sarah comes back and she's not changed at all from this, and there is no experiences whatsoever, and Sarah's not changed, and Sarah and I don't have any experiences, that I am willing to conclude, at least for them, that I'm not ever going to give up on Bigfoot, but I will drastically leave them alone. I won't talk to them and bug them about Bigfoot anymore, and I'll try to limit my interactions with them on the subject of Bigfoot drastically if this trip turns out that it doesn't change us in some way or form. And once again, the perception is not that we're going to see Bigfoot, even though we could. We could hear them, we could see them, but when you see Bigfoot, though, it's going to be at a distance. They're not going to come up and shake our hands. But we will have experiences, and if we have experiences and it changes Sarah's perception, and you know what, not that she has to 100% believe, but if it changed her perception into the fact that she says, I will give you that they could exist. She doesn't have to say they exist, but she has to change her opinion from they don't exist to they could exist, now that she's been out there and had this experience. What do you guys think?